Dwight Rican and returned from a couple days break. Uh, just needed to get away from it all. Took the kids out a little mini trip just to get just get away from the ugliness. I mean, seeing some of the posts on Facebook and Twitter and all that, seeing the censorship that's going on. It was nice to get a day and a half break from it, but it's back to reality now, and it's gross. It's really what's going on. People cheering on, people rubbing it in, and people cheering on censorship. It's people cheering on that. Okay, look, I get it. It's people who their number one issue is climate change, but you just cost 10,000 jobs, 12,000 jobs, something like that, between Canada and the U.S. by getting rid of a pipeline that you're not really saving. You're not saving any carbon emissions, because what's going to end up doing that oil is going to be shipped regardless. But now, instead of it being shipped through that pipeline, now it's probably going to get shipped through tankers, through trains. So guess what? Now instead of reducing the carbon footprint by being able to just pump the gas to where it needs the oil where it needs to go, now you're going to have to use oil trucks. You're going to have to use trains, and what's that going to do? Cause a bigger footprint, because companies are still going to do that. The oil still needs to be there. People think it's just about gasoline and for the cars and all that stuff. It's any plastics we use, any type of plastics, we use petroleum. So guess what? We still need to get to the oil. Do we need to find alternatives? Yes. But until we find until our batteries become better and we reach the point where we can use renewables, we still need the oil, and that's not going to change anytime soon. But that's a different rant for a different day. Like I said, I just wanted to talk about the ugliness. I mean, I was getting messages. People were telling me about how I have one friend. She was telling me about a bunch of our friends from high school, and telling me about how they're hypocrites because right now they're on that BLM kick, but meanwhile in high school they would never date a black guy. I'm keeping it vague because I don't want to I don't want to shout people out, so I'll just keep it vague. Let's just say they would never date black, and to me, that's overcompensation. See, the reason why I'm okay with being against that whole movement and being against this whole, because to me, being anti-racist to me is just another excuse for being racist. Is like, except that you're changing the race it's okay to be racist against. So for me, that I'm not racist against people, I don't care. I do not care that people, oh, you're racist because you against Black Lives Matter. Whatever. Doesn't affect me, doesn't hurt me, because it's untrue. There's people, if you're insecure about how you feel about races and all that, that's on you. I went to a high school, we were like so mixed. We had a bunch of Asians from different countries. We had blacks, we had Hispanics, we had dark-skinned Hispanics, light-skinned Hispanics. We had a white kid. So when it comes to, I grew up around all of this. I grew up around, I grew up being the light-skinned one. All my friends were the dark-skinned ones, and dark-skinned Latinos, and I grew up around Jews. I grew up around Chinese people because I lived near Chinatown. Love Chinese food. I love pastrami and rye. So I know not everyone's lived my experience, but because of the fact that I've lived around so many different type of people, and so I'm not scared of someone trying to label that bigot or whatever to me, because go around, even people who I may disagree with politically, like friends from high school, let one friend come out and say that that I was racist or bigoted toward anyone. I treated everyone the same. I like everyone. I'm like my father's. I'm my father's son. My father is friendly. My father will talk to strangers. I will talk to strangers. So with that, we need to find a way where more people could be like me, and we're not. You know what? We cannot continue with this stressing race. We got to stress that we're all American, and if we can't stop with the racial divide, then it's going to rip this country apart. It already is. It already is ripping this country apart. And I gotta mute this here. So like that, I'm not getting any of these sounds, because like I said, when I tell you I'm getting messages from people, I'm getting messages from people telling me, showing me ugly posts that people are putting, showing me like the executive orders that Biden signed, and I'm like, I get it. I got people who, I got friends that they're scared about, they have kids, they're gonna have kids, and they're worried about where this country is going. And as a Christ follower, the only thing I could tell you is lean to your faith. Just, what? God has a plan, God has a purpose. We may not understand what it is, but all things are in glory to Him. So even, all you people who hated Trump, I'm sorry to tell you, but if you're a Christian, there's going to be some glory that's going to come because of whatever you disagree with Trump, and it's not electing Biden that's doing it. Because I had that conversation with a friend too, and the one thing that we could come to agreement on is that religion is abused by both parties. So just we gotta find a way to just come together by forgetting about this whole what. If we stress the race, it's gonna antagonize it more. When you're talking, when Joe Biden talks about he's gonna stress, business loans to blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, it's like, just give it to people who need it. You shouldn't make color and race or heritage or sexual orientation or sexual identity. That's the word I was looking for. There you go. I want it to be as least offensive as it could be. We got to find a way to stop seeing each other as even though I call myself the Right Rican because I'm proud of my heritage, but look at the other flag behind me, and I'm just as proud as that I was born American. So we got to come together. This is not, the problem what's going on, and what I see is, the left is talking about healing, unity and healing, HEALING. But that's not what they want. They'll say that's what they want, but the real healing they want is HEELING. What I mean by that, they want to bring us to heal. They want to make us, I'm going to show you a text I got from, I got a message from a friend of mine. Let's see, I had it pulled up, where he's like, we have a lot of people hurting in the with the pandemic, and the number has grown exponentially. Conservative policy isn't the answer. We need to help people. Once the bleeding is stemmed, we could apply some conservative policies that will help. And there's the whole thing. You know, it's like once they get everything they want, then, oh, no. Now you could do what you want to do. And, you know, we have to have a balance. It can't be, I'm right-leaning, moderate type of guy. Like, like I said, I call myself a libertarian more than I call myself a Republican. You will rarely see me call myself a Republican. I'm a libertarian. And when I see that, it's like, that's putting us to heel. That's what I mean. It's like, your ideas suck and his ideas are awesome, and asking me why I'm against socialism. And it's like the expression that goes, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. And I'm not saying that he's a bad guy. He's in my church group. I love him as a brother in Christ, but I think he's wrong. And I don't think that, I'm not saying that, conservative and libertarian policy is the total answer. The problem is, when going down the route that he's talking about to want to get us towards socialism, it's like, you could vote socialism in, but you're using your guns to get yourself out of it. That's the problem. Because you don't see that in the country. And people talk about, they want to bring up Norway. Like, I have another friend who was telling me that, capitalism leads to communism. And I'm like, dude, you don't know what you're talking about. Socialism leads to communism. And, here, the problem is, like I said, with the road to hell is paved with good intentions. And these people have a good heart. But when you vote in this socialism, it doesn't stop there, because then they have to stop the way of turning things around. Because look at like Venezuela, because it's the most recent country that went socialist. And it's like, I have friends from Venezuela that fled the country. And in 26, I can only imagine, because since I left Texas, and I can imagine how they feel now. In 2016, Bernie terrified them. They were terrified of the left turn of the Democratic Party. So if these are people who just escaped socialism, and they're trying to get, there's fights against it, but the socialists right now have the guns, they have the military. And that's why, I saw that Biden's having them sign like an ethics pledge or something like that, which to me sounds like a loyalty pledge, which, people complained about Trump using that term, but, it's okay to use those double speak words where you say one thing and you mean another. But I'm seeing that, look, listen, like I said, in 2 days, a lot of stuff to talk about. I just wanted to touch bases on a couple of things that were just there on my mind right off the bat. But like I said, we got to find a way to come together. I would love for my channel. I can't, I'm not the most articulate person. I'm a passionate person, which sometimes is ironic for someone on the left, because, they're always about F your feelings. But, you can have your feelings, but we also got to deal with the facts. And fact is, we lost. We lost in November, but we got to move forward. Just like they're moving forward, we got to move forward. We're going to move forward and think about 2022, or, if your local city council, your local state legislature, whichever one, if they're running candidates in 2021, go out there and vote. You got to vote these. You got to vote these. You got to when the left goes too far, you have to go vote to get them back to be moderates. And the same thing, if the right goes too far, you gotta push them to the center, because that's always what's kept this country together, is that we never pushed too far in one direction too fast. That's what's going on right now. We're being pushed way too quickly to the left. I mean, in my lifetime, usually these shifts in parties takes place over years. I shouldn't say years, I should say generations. Because, they'll flip issues, they'll flip priorities, and the way it's changed and, the way it's polarized in the past, just, let's say, in the last 8 to 12 years. I mean, people want to say Trump started the division, but really, this whole identity politics, Obama wanted to win in 2012, and he started his, he went from hope and change, and, he was going to heal the country to, I'm going to lose. Let's pull this string on division, and, hopefully it'll get me enough votes to win. And that's what happened. And Trump was the response to that. And you people on the left, you're happy right now, but be careful, because, you people want to make it about Trump, and come 2024, you may get we could get someone on the right that, has the charisma of, let's say, Obama, but has the policies of Trump. And then what? You're not going to be able to say, oh, well, look at him, he's a buffoon, if we get someone like that, especially one of the front runners already is like Nikki Haley, a woman of color. You guys aren't going to be able to plant that white supremacist, racist nonsense on her. There are going to be some people that are going to fall for that, but not everyone. So, heed my warning. And especially for my friends on the left, the media has already started. The media has started their love affair of, they're going to ignore stuff that Biden does. Or, they're going to be like, oh, that's just a right-wing attack. No, your news media, you should be, like the stuff with Hunter Biden, we already know it's true. Where's the media coverage? Why is it just Fox News? Because they don't want to hurt Biden. They learned in 2016 this sometimes when they try to cover some of the Hillary stuff and how much it hurt her, but they don't want to do that now. They don't want to do their job. That's their job. Their job is not to cover up for either party. You know what? I don't care that they were hard on Trump in questioning in his press briefings. You know what? But I want them to do that with Biden. I want them to do that with whoever gets elected after Biden. Because if not, all we're going to get is one-sided news, when we need people who are going to dig through the fluff, because that's what we're going to be getting for the next 4 years, covering this new president. It's fluff. It's already started. You can see some of the jokes people were talking about. There was a CNN guy who talked about the lights in the National Plaza are like Joe Biden's hands reaching out to embrace the nation. It's like, where was any of this type of fluff reporting for Trump? And people could say, oh, he was combative, he was an a-hole. Guess what? It was a chicken and egg. Because why was he combative with the media? Because they would say stupid stories. I remember, this is what got me, in the beginning of his presidency, CNN reporting everybody had one scoop of ice cream, but Trump gave himself 2. That was an actual headline for CNN. Let me see that now with Biden. Show it to me so I could be like I'm wrong. But you're not going to see those, you're not going to see, that type of stuff. You're going to see embracing him with these lights of, So, anyway, I'm done. Look, it's been 20 minutes I've been running my mouth. if you like my channel, if you like what I have to say, you have anyone, interact in the comment section so I could, you have any show topics you'd like me to look into, anyone who wants to, have a conversation, whether you're someone on the left, whether you're someone on the right, reach out. I'm more than glad to have a discussion as long as we're respectful. No, I don't want to have to censor you by, if you curse or anything like that, because you can see how I don't do that just because of, I don't know what YouTube's gonna what they allow and stuff, especially since I'm a right-leaning channel. I know I have less slack. So I said, like, subscribe or give me a rumble on the other platform because I use both, and that's it. I hope we could have real healing and not the other type of healing I was talking about. Have a good one.